Pandora V2 RDA from Psychosis Inc. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we're looking at this, the Pandora V2 from Psychosis Inc. 25mm undercoil airflow RDA, available in copper, stainless steel and brass, I believe. Available also for this is a squonk pin if you get that separate. We'll talk about all that later. So yeah, this is the V2. A few little quirks and additions that I'll talk about throughout. But let's just dive down low so you can have a nice look at this UK designed RDA from Psychosis Inc. Let's go. Okay guys, here we are up close with the Pandora RDA V2 from Psychosis. Cool box. You get spares. You don't get a squonk pin as standard, but no bother on that. You do get all these sort of stuff. Talk about that up top. Comes in a nice little baggie. And the RDA is in here. There we go. There she is. You get two drip tips with it. This like bowed one and this straight one. Both goon fitting though, so you can put on whatever you like, which is great. But yeah, that's a drip tip. I think I prefer this one actually, between the two. But there we go. Put that over to there and there. So, this is the RDA. It's got that Pandora Psychosis logo. It's got a tiny little air hole here. It mine's like patinaing up a little bit, kind of. It's definitely sort of a slightly different complexion to what it was when I first got it, but it is one of these things that stays fairly shiny though, I've noticed. But there we go. That's looking all around it. Got your adjustable airflow obviously on the bottom. I'll show you that better when I get the top off. And then serial number and Pandora underneath. Very nice. Copper pin there. Right, let's get the top off. Right, we've got it broken apart now. This is the top cap, the famous top cap. It's got all these sort of grooves and fins in that are supposed to help with something, but I don't know. I'm no expert when it comes to airflow dynamics, so I don't know what they're really doing. But they certainly look cool. And then you've got your two O-rings there, and that's your top cap. The actual tension on the top cap is perfect. You can't really just pull it off like that, which is what you want. You just give it a little turn and it comes off nicely. But the O-rings are perfect throughout this RDA, and really nice there. So yeah, so that's the top cap. Nice little goon tip. Good tension. Right. This is the barrel. So we've got that on there. We've got these tiny air holes here. Now what you'll notice is that the air holes don't line up with the deck. So the air comes in down here, but comes up, down, out, up here. So when you're putting it on for the adjustable airflow, you have to turn it like that to adjust the airflow, and these are fixed. These are just very small holes at the top that are fixed. So I tend to be about there. That's how I'm sort of having my airflow. Half on both sides, and then I've got the little holes as well. That seems to be the right amount for me. So yeah, so it's this separated airflow situation. So it goes in there and it comes out there on the opposite side. Very interesting. It also comes from 2 holes here into 4 holes out here as well. So there's a lot going on there. Looking at the deck, what we've got is a 4-terminal, 2-post deck. That's what we've got going on here. You've got your little grub screws at the top with these 4 holes. So you've got one positive, one negative. So you can do it however you like. You can go right from the edge, right to the edge. You can go from inside to inside, which is what I tend to do. I tend to put both sets of leads through the same holes. But you can do the staggered way as well. Really easy to use build deck. And the other thing to notice as well before we put a build in is look at the size of the juice. Look at the size of the juice well. When you drip down the middle of this, it just falls into that big well. It doesn't go anywhere near those holes, which is really cool. So yeah, a cool deck, lots going on it. And again, O-ring's perfect. I'll stick a build in this, then we'll go back up top. Okay guys, this is the build that I've put in it. I wasn't messing with huge crazy wire, so I actually put mine, both my leads through these terminals. It makes it perfectly straight in here, and so I like to do that. But if you've got a crazy build, you can use these outside ones, or you can go there to there. Loads of options with this. And then for wicking, you're literally just shoving it down, and you can see what I was talking about before. Now, if you drip down here, it just sort of fills up that centre bit. It doesn't go anywhere near these holes, which is perfect. So that's how I've got it built. Let's go back up top. Okay guys, that was the Pandora V2 down low. A really, really nice RDA, a really solid RDA. UK designed, which is always going to get an extra little tick from me. You know, I love seeing UK people designing stuff and getting stuff made. I always think that's really awesome. Let's talk about some ticks. Let's tick some things off the RDA list. Goon fitting tips, tick. Squonk pin available, tick. Build deck you can fit crazy cool coils in, tick. It's got those things, which is good. You know, really nicely put together package. You can get all that stuff. Now, to get this is one thing I should very much explain. To get this, you need to go to the link in the description. It's the only place currently you can get the Pandora V2. It's £50 in the UK, and if you go there, you can see it there, and you can buy it directly from the link in the description. You can also go to that site to get the squonk pin if you want the squonk pin. So with the squonk pin, it'd be like £58, something like that. Very, very good price, really, when you think about what you're getting in terms of build quality and all that sort of presentation and all that sort of stuff. So let's delve into this now. The Pandora RDA. Now they did the V1, and I think I haven't spoken directly to Chris about his original reasons for getting that off the ground, but this is an undercoil airflow RDA, and for a long time, maybe even if you go around asking people now, they will probably say the king of the undercoil RDA scene is possibly the Kennedy. And I think that's been the case for a long time, but it's not a perfect, and has never been a perfect RDA, and I'm surprised it hasn't been knocked off its pedestal at this point. Personally, the Kennedy I've always found quite infuriating. Mainly the build deck and the way it wicks, and when you pull the cap off, often you'll snag a bit of wicking with it. Another thing of the Kennedy is I don't feel like, I know some people will, I know some people can, but personally I don't feel like you can drip down the drip tip very successfully with a Kennedy. So I believe the Pandora V1 was sort of an attempt at beating the Kennedy. You know, the Kennedy's great, let's do something even better, you know, let's do something better than the Kennedy. And the V1 did achieve a lot of those goals. Much better build deck, much easier to drip juice down into. No issues with wicking, plenty of room, lots of space in that RDA. So they did achieve those things. Also, I think its job was to be a genuinely cloudy RDA that's still undercoil airflow, you know, because what you tend to find with a lot of these undercoil airflow RDAs is they're more flavour RDAs than cloud RDAs. And so I think that was the remit of the V1. Now the V2 has come along and they've taken it one step further. One negative of the V1 that a lot of people sort of said was the airflow is a little bit turbulent. It feels quite restricted on its way up, and then it's got those fins and things, you know, and people were like, the airflow is a little bit choppy. But other than that, it's okay. And I think that's the main thing they've improved on this. There is more air now. You got these additional air holes on the side now, which, you know, do add quite a lot of air. I'm having to turn this half down at the bottom. So they've got that going on. So they are really airy. But for me, the best thing about this is the build deck. You can put any coils you like on, and the second bit is that you can drip right down the drip tip. The way they've designed this deck, 5mm deep juice well, really raised up airflow. So when the juice gets dripped in, it just goes up and up, and it doesn't go so high, unless you're a mentalist, it doesn't go so high that it goes into the air slots and eventually seeps out through. They've totally avoided that. You can genuinely build and wick this in a way that allows you to squirt your juice straight down the drip tip without it getting really messy really quick. They've really blocked off those airflows really nicely, which is, for me, the big advantage. I don't use a lot of undercoil RDAs because of that. I like to drip down the drip tip, but you can very much do that with this. I'm going to do it right now. So that's what I like. That's what I like about this. You can really do that. They don't have any of those Kennedy issues with building and wicking, and you can drip down the drip tip. So for me personally, it is better than the Kennedy. It really is. If we're going to talk about a few negatives, the only real sort of negative that I have with this still, you know, now we're on a V2, is it's quite noisy. It's just quite a noisy vape, but I think that's true of so many cloudy RDAs. Any RDA where you can really put big clouds through, it tends to be quite noisy. It is much smoother. It is a much smoother draw than the V1 was. It really is. You don't feel, it just feels like the air's going straight through. It's still noisy. I think that's just the nature of the design. The air's got a lot of places to go, but yeah, it really is a smooth draw. I think the holes on the side really help with that as well. Just really smooths it out. Like I said before, I've got it down to half. This is a very cloudy 25mm RDA should you wish it to be. Looking good in here. Yeah, super easy build deck to build on. Really well. The fit and finish on this RDA is perfect. The O-rings are all immaculate. It's a very heavy mod and it's holding this. Yeah, I can very easily take it off, which is a hallmark of a good RDA O-rings. All your goon tips fit on here, no problem at all. They don't have any issues with that. Really well put together. Really well put together. Really solid RDA. If you're a Kennedy fan and you're in the UK, check this out. I think it's better than that. I do. The only negative really is that it's quite a noisy RDA, but I know most people don't care about that, so that really is a small one. So yeah, a really nicely designed, really well made RDA, designed in the UK, available in the UK. Link in the description. Check it out if you wanted to get one. It's got a good following, this RDA. Psychosis Inc have built up a good following, and it's a really nice RDA, and I can see why people love it, and I can see why I see it on so many hand checks in the UK. Really solid RDA, really enjoying using it. It's a top job. I've been Vick, and I'll see you again soon.